Alrighty, let's just test the audio here really quick. I believe in you, Twitch. Please work. Believe in you, Twitch. Perfect. Alright, cool. So, today we have some modern decks to play. We have Sultai, we have Battle of Wits, the new Battle of Wits version. It should be somewhere. Oh crap. Did it not save? One second. Let me log off and back on. I accidentally logged into Moto twice today, and I really hope that it didn't erase that deck list by crashing the other version of the game. Good news is, if it did cause problem, I know how to fix it. Hopefully. And let's just rebuild the deck list. Yep, that version of the deck list is completely gone. Hey T-Rex, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Glad you can make it. Alright, well. I'm going to have to rebuild. Unless it just got shunted to a wrong. Hopper, basic, freeform. Glad to hear that you're doing good. Alright, yep, I'm gonna have to rebuild that deck really quick. Sorry for the inconvenience. No, we are not drafting today. Today is going to be a modern stream, for the most part. I might do like a chaos draft later, depending on how much time and energy I have. Where did I put that? Where did that deck list go? Seriously? Where did that deck list go? Here it is. Okay. Cool. Good news is, I remember just about how to build this deck. It's gonna take me a minute, though. Right now, I am rebuilding a blue-white Battle of Wits list for Modern. It's a 240 card deck around the enchantment Battle of Wits. Opt Visions of Beyond, not Serum Visions. What's the other 1-mana blue cantrip I like? Draw a card. Modern. Hey, Bone Daddy, how's it going? So I built the blue-white Battle of Wits list, and then accidentally logged into the Moto again through a different, because I didn't see my session was still open, and it erased it and didn't save it. And I feel quite terrible about that, actually. Oh, Thought Scour. Thought Scour is the one I want. Herp derp. So the first little bit of the stream is going to be me doing this. Good news is, since I just built it, I remember most of what was in it. So we need like 16 Path to Exile effects. Blessed Alliance. is the snow enchantment on thin ice. Okay. Then we need frantic inventory as our 2-mana draw spell. We need mana leak. Oops. We need 4 mana leaks. Probably not the white border versions. People will yell at me. Okay, mana leak. Logic knot. Deprive. We need 4 deprives. Then we need Supreme Verdict. Still sad you didn't grab Sculpting Steel for the combo. I didn't even know the combo was a thing, really. Wrath of God. 3 Wraths of God, and then 1 Day of Judgment. If I can spell judgment. Okay. We also need Gifts Ungiven. 2 Unburial Rites. Terastodon. Elish Norn. Iona. Archmage's Charm. Cryptic Command. Snapcaster. Almost no tutors. The only real tutor effect we play is Gifts Ungiven. Tutors are too slow for Modern to be competitive. What else did I have? Right, Stiflebird. Search for Flash in Modern. Find it. Where is it at? Where is it at? Oh, you know what we need? We need Omen of the Sea. That's probably better in this deck than Frantic Inventory is. Factor Fiction. Factor Fiction is absolutely in this deck. We draw it. We draw it or we tutor for it with Gifts Ungiven in an all-win condition pile. What was I looking? Oh yeah, Stiflebird, Nimble Obstructionist. We've got Snapcaster Mage, Stiflebird. We need Torrential Gear Hulk. There's one other good flash threat that's not coming to mind at the moment. Joest, so I built the deck list and saved it, and then I logged into Moto again without closing my previous session, and it got deleted. So I'm rebuilding it frantically from what I remember. It's not that hard to build. So we need Teferi, we need big Teferi. We need Mind Sculptor. You know what, let's just search for Jace. Bagel, Bagel of Wits. We need Gideon. 4 3-mana Gideon, 2 4-mana Gideon, 1 5-mana Gideon. 1 Elspeth. Do we pact? Which pact? A single Pact of Negation is probably not bad for this deck. Oh, we need Force. Okay, then we need... I got the Wraths, I got the kill spells. I don't have all of the flash threats. What other creatures with flash was I running? I didn't have that many. White and blue, format modern, creatures with flash, creatures with flash. That are good. Oh, I have a Vendilion Click. I don't have Brazen Borrowers, or I would run them. If I had Brazen Borrowers, I would be running like Spell Stutter Sprites, because then all the creatures would basically be fairies, and that would actually be quite good. There's a few cards that I just don't have that the deck needs, but it's okay. Like, it's not that big of a deal. The deck is like generally as powerful as it needs to be. Oh, I need Stoneforge. Force of Will is not modern legal, but I did put in 3 Force of Negation, because that's what I've got. Okay, we need Batterskull. We need Feast and Famine. I do not have Baby Teferi. For some reason, he got banned and doubled in price, so I will not be running Baby Teferi. What else do I need here? We've almost got everything. Dex, metagame, modern, blue-white control. Oh, deprive. We need deprive. Oh, I already have deprive. Never mind. Force negation, cryptic commands, supreme verdict, spell snare. Spell snare is another important one. Any other swords? I could, and it wouldn't actually be that bad. I'll run the one Shark Typhoon I have, because those are actually really expensive for some reason. And then we start running... Actually, Censor is not bad. Censor is a cantrip that is also a counterspell. Good call on Censor. Okay. Now we need... I'll put in the land... Oh, Battle of Wits, of course. Wouldn't that be funny? Running Battle of Wits without Battle of Wits. Hee hee hee. We'll run the foil one I actually got out of a 9th edition pack once. And then we'll throw in the lands here. So, Colonnade. We need some Colonnades. We need Field of Ruin. We need Hollowed Fountain. I don't like Remand in control decks, even janky control decks that need all the redundancy they can get. I think Remand is super bad in control decks. Okay, Prismatic Vista, Fabled Passage, Marsh Flats, Polluted Delta, Flooded Strand, Windswept Heath, Misty Rainforest. Oops, one too many there. Island. We'll do one Raugrin Triome. About 20 snow-covered islands. One irrigated farmland, 4 prairie stream. I like just built this, so I remember most of it. Of course, we need Glacial Fortress. Okay. Need Mystic. Which new Teferi? Planes. We need about 10 planes. I think it's actually closer to 8. I'll go 9 planes. I don't think I have new Teferi, actually. Hang on. No, he's too expensive. He's currently 22 tickets, $22 a piece, and I don't have any. I did, but I sold them because I did not think they were good, and I sold them for more than $20 a piece. So I'm pretty happy about that. Hollowed Fountain, Irrigated Farmland, Prairie Stream. We're not running Port Town. We've got the other fetches. What else am I missing? Oh, we need a couple of Godless Shrines because we do have one main deck black card. Actually, those should be Watery Graves. Those should not be Godless Shrines. We'll do one Godless Shrine, 2 Watery Grave. Okay, I need about 14 more lands. Format modern. White, blue, type, land. I think I was just looking at this. One Castle Vantris, one Castle Ardenvale. Could run the cycling lands. Oh, I need Search for his Kantas in this deck. We're gonna do 2 regular islands and 2 regular plains. The shrines. The shrines. Oh, the temple? Sorry, which shrine are we referring to? I don't want the temple because I don't want the tap land. Oh, Seachrome Coast. Definitely need Seachrome Coast. I'm only 4 land away. I don't have basics. Could run Addercar Wastes. Don't need the Snowland. Oh, yes, I added that one. That was not actually in the list that I was running, or that I built immediately prior to this, but I did add that particular one, because it is good. And then... I guess I'll just add the temples, because I can't think of what else at the moment. Okay. Now I'm missing something. I know I'm missing something. Take a look at the... Yes, we do have Omen of the Sea. It's kind of hard to see right here, but we do have one. Spell Snare, Force Negation, Mana Leak, Cryptic Command, Supreme Verdict, bunch of lands, Snapcasters, Planeswalkers. Hey, Six Sigma. We do have Spell Queller. Alright, we'll run the other swords to fill the slots. We'll do... What is the best one for our deck here? We have Feast and Famine. We'll do Fire and Ice. War and Peace. And... Light and Shadow. I think those are the most relevant protections. No, this is the first deck we'll be playing today. I really messed up and ruined the deck list. I had it built immediately prior to the stream and was just intending to start with it, but unfortunately I have to rebuild it quickly. Okay. So, sideboard tech, we need... timely reinforcements, which honestly, you know what? We're gonna run those in the main deck. That's pretty good. We're gonna run Relic of Progenitus into the sideboard here. Grave Hate's gonna be like #1 issue. What do I run in my other Battle of Wits deck for sideboard? This one ran Bribery to just absolutely destroy Tron. Hercule's Recall tech is a little bit old. Should play Luris. Can't wait like 2 minutes before you queue. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. You made a bad decision. Tutor emoji. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Alright, I won't queue up just yet then. We do need Tormod's Crypt, I imagine. The side you'll never reach because of the 230 other cards. You have obviously never seen me play Battle of Wits before. I used to Miracle Terminus in this deck consistently. Azorius Charm. I've been seeing control decks play Azorius Charm recently, and it helps round out the cantrip count as well as the removal. just a little bit. I'm going to cut 5 mana Gideon. Actually, I don't want a Singleton 5 mana Gideon. Yes, I have too. Alright. Hang on. I'm a couple of cards too deep here. Because I added things like Censor, Omen of the Sea. You know what? I'm gonna go down to a Visions of Beyond. Just for funny. It's a fun of, you know. Could be a Singleton Ancestral Recall. You never know. Okay. Whoops. That's my Discord, everybody. Shout out to the Discord, people. Okay. I think that's everything. Oh, I need to settle the wreckage. I'm actually gonna run 2 over Wraths of God. Wrath of God is usually generally better, but we are running Torrential Gear Hulk. Discrod. Okay. Oh no. Oh my god! What? Bone! Seriously? Battle of Wits is now competitive. All hail the Diabolic Tutor. Holy shit. Oh my god. Thank you, Bone Daddy. Alright, well, we are gonna be running hot this time. I can cut the slightly worse Planeswalkers I was running for the most part. 3 mana Gideon still fine, 4 mana Gideon still fine. Got the Teferis. We need the new Force. Also, you gave me, heads up, Bone Daddy, I just got a notification from Delivery Bot. It says when you order more than $5 with PayPal, if you type the word PayPal in the coupon box, they give you 5% off. But since you didn't do that this time, they gave me $20 in bot credit to the service that you used for that. So, just so you know. Much, much greatly appreciated. Oh my god. I can actually play control decks now. I have all the cards. What was the other one? Brazen Borrower. Brazen Borrower. It sure fucking feels like it, Rail, and welcome to the stream. Okay, so we need to make some slight adjustments here. Okay, we need Spell Stutter. Because we do have... you need an exclamation point before the birthday. Oh man, I am ecstatic. We are gonna have some real fun today, folks. Oh, I know what I need. I need the 1 mana fairy. that scries. 1 mana fairy that scries. Not fairy miscreant, fairy seer. That's what I'm looking for. We could do duelist as well. Or like pestermite. Could even do like Glenelendra. Okay. We're gonna start with this. X is the number of fairies. I don't know. The only one I know of is Spell Stutter Sprite. Which is counter target spell where with CMC X or less, where X is the number of fairies you control. Okay. I need to cut about 5 cards. Since we added a whole bunch of creatures, I think I'm actually going to go down Spell Queller. Spell Queller is much better than in a tempo deck than it is in a control deck, and we're really a control deck now. Holy crap. Did I? Okay, cool. It would make it 5. I'm positive there is. There's gotta be. So, welcome new users to the chat. If you're new here, all hail the diabolic tutor Bone Daddy, for he has granted me my wish of being able to play my competitive version of Battle of Wits in Modern yet again. Oh, I need to finish out the sideboard really quick. We need... I'm going to put surgicals into the side. And we need one more. We probably need, like, stony silences, I imagine. We're going to try it like this. Competitive. Oh, you'll see. Oust! Oust was the one I was forgetting. Thank you, Joe West. Cool. Alright, let's do this. Why are you on this screen? Game? Moto? Alright, here we go. Oh yeah, we might need like Lyra and Baneslayer. We might need big life linking threats. We're currently running 260 cards. We will play first, and this is a fairy that's wielding a sword, so I think I'm going to keep. If I jump into a league, I might run into you. Way to out yourself in the losers bracket, Six Sigma. If you're gonna run into Battle of Wits. No offense. Alright. So, opponent starts Temple Garden, tapped. We untap, we draw Timely Reinforcements. So, play Prismatic Vista. Pass the turn. Ooh, Moto does not like me today. It is running a bit slow. Okay, opponent plays a forest. 2 mana for a Stoneforge Mystic. Well, we did not get our 1 mana fairy, so we're not going to be able to counter that. Let's see what our opponent gets. They're probably Bant Control. So this is probably just a Batterskull. It's a Batterskull. Okay, we're going to crack for a blue source. I would flash Spell Stutter Sprite here, but we can get full value out of this Timely Reinforcement, so I'm going to do that instead. Hey, we get our own Stoneforge Mystic. Is that better? No. Timely Reinforcements is better here. So we gain 6 life and get 3 1/1s. Next turn, we can play Stoneforge, hold up Spell Stutter, get our own Batterskull. Okay, opponent plays an Arid Mesa. And they're going to pass. Sure. We untap. We draw Spell Stutter Sprite number 2. Okay. Play Snow-Covered Plains. Am I even drinking right now? No, but I should. It feels like a party. Alright, Stoneforge Mystic. I've never even heard of that. What does that even mean, Raelin? Alright, pass the turn. Well, the good news is Batterskull also wielding a Light and Shadow. It's +1/+2 and destroy target equipment. Wow. We do not have one of those. So opponent is going to put a Batterskull onto the field. It is going to Living Weapon. Okay. Opponent untaps. Mirror Breaker for Stoneforge Mystic. I mean, I can believe that. I can see that. Stoneforge Mystic number 2. Alright, well. Opponent is going to Stoneforge again. Okay. Definitely janky enough for our deck. I could see it. Opponent plays a sword, or gets a Sword of Fire and Ice. Sure. Attacks for 4, yeah, no blocks. Okay, we are going to flash a no-value Spell Stutter. And we untap. We draw Hieroglyphic Illumination. So play a Triome, pass the turn. Well, we could get in for 1 in the air, so we're going to do that. Okay. Opponent goes to 20. We pass the turn. They put a Sword of Fire and Ice into play. Okay, opponent untaps. Moto continues to lag. They equip Batterskull. They go to combat. They attack for 6. Chump. Okay, opponent goes up to 26. Do we have any artifact removal? We have a lot of removal for a lot of things. But, no, I don't think we have specifically artifact removal. Okay, put Batterskull onto the field. Living Weapon. We untap. Is there enough space in the deck for artifact removal? I don't know. Alright, we'll put a Sword of Light and Shadow into play. If we were playing 3-color Battle-O-Wits, blue, white, red, we would definitely have... we would definitely have a Braids in this deck. Alright, we have protection from their team, which makes ours better than theirs. So attack for 6. And we have a Spell Stutter Sprite, no legal targets, okay. We could play Austere Command. We could also play Merciless Eviction. We could also attack with the flyer. That's true. Alright, opponent untaps. Oh, Sublime Epiphany? We do have Torrential Gearhulk. Opponent goes to combat and attacks with a black germ against a germ that has protection from black. Get destroyed, opponent. You don't even gain life. Whoo! This deck, back when it used to be like 5-color, it used to run Godo Bandit Warlord, which was hilarious. Alright, opponent has a green creature. Why did I have Restoration Angel in this deck? I feel like this deck should have a Restoration Angel. Especially with, like, spell stutters and all that jazz. Opponent gets some clues. They're gonna crack to draw. Alright. Okay. We untap. We're gonna go ahead and cast an Omen of the Sea. Helm of the Host wasn't legal when that was... Birthing Pod was still legal when that was the version of the deck, so Helm of the Host didn't exist. Why don't we have Yorion as a companion? Because I forgot Yorion existed. He's also not very good in this form of the deck. Oh! You know what? I'll keep a Torrential Gearhulk. That'll be pretty good. Go to combat. Get in with the germ token. Our 15 sideboard slots are just too important. Damn, you got that right. Will not use Sword's ability. Pass the turn. So I'm kind of looking to cast a Hieroglyphic Illumination this turn. Okay. Opponent suits up Tireless Tracker with Batterskull, using all of their mana. I should have attacked with Spell Stutter Sprite, and I still didn't. Throw a soldier under the bus. Okay, we're going to go ahead and cast Hieroglyphic Illumination. Why did we not chump with Stoneforge? I don't know. I really don't. Okay, so we draw a Hallowed Fountain. Play Hallowed Fountain. Untapped. I'm sure we can spare the life. Oust Tireless Tracker. We'll give our opponent some life back. We'll try and make this game a little more even. And then, get in for 7. I should have chumped with Stoneforge, yes. And I will this time if it's relevant. Because then we can just pick it up with Sword of Light and Shadow. And then we can go get Feast and Famine. We can waste our opponent's whole hand. We don't have a protect... Yeah, Feast and Famine, yes. Because that would be protection from green. Sorry, I panicked for a second. Doubted myself. Shouldn't do that. Alright, opponent plays a Tireless Tracker. You got it. They equip it with a sword. How brave. Yeah, why start doubting your decisions now? Alright. Torrential Gearhulk. We should have a Sword of Body in mind so they deck out before us. I didn't cast it. I didn't cast it because the prompt is different than Snapcaster, and I thought I was playing a Snapcaster-y card. So that was horrible. I'm so sorry. Um. Okay, well, we have more than enough basics, so we're gonna play Prairie Stream here. Is it time for us to just imagine that? You know, I had a Thraben Inspector wielding multiple swords before. Maybe we should be playing Thraben Inspector. I think I'm gonna suit up the Gear Hulk while they're tapped out. No, because Fire and Ice lets them swing past it. Never mind, that's a bad idea. Alright, fire up Colonnade. Kano trying to be intelligent with his plays. Keywords trying. Alright, attack. Attack, attack. Deal a lot. Our opponent has a lot of cards in hand, but that's just because they, trying to be intelligent with your plays and then intentionally miss with Colonnade. Yeah. Alright. Opponent equips the Tireless Tracker. Sure. Alright, this time we throw Stoneforge under the bus. So we can light and shadow that back. Let's go ahead and manipulate our top deck here with this Omen. Prairie Stream and Censor to the bottom. A little late for Censor. Okay, opponent has to discard a card. They discard Huntmaster of the Fells. We draw a Snapcaster Mage. Alright, hang on. So we can hit our opponent for 11, 12 this turn? Oh, they're just dead. Right? No, because we can't do that and animate Colonnade. Alright, We're gonna not animate Colonnade this turn. No, hang on. I have a Snapcaster Mage. I have options. What am I doing? So, we can Snapcaster Oust. Oust the Tireless Tracker again. We could Snapcaster Hieroglyphic Illuminations, actually draw cards. It's taking a long time to decide how to win this unlosable game. Alright, you're right. I'll just win. Go to combat. See how hard you can punt this game into the stratosphere. My luck is my opponent will, like, have Kiki combo or something. I forgot that that has... Damn it. Everybody shut up. Nobody comment on what just happened. Oh, man. Oh, that's atrocious. Well, we're still winning, so there's that. It's happening. Okay. Let's see. So all we need to do is just suit up like Gear Hulk, I think. Opponent can swing past it, but, like, that's fine. We have enough life now. I'm not really threatened. Am I drunk already? Drunk with power. I tapped the Raugrin Triumph. He knows I'm not playing red. Oh no. Alright, opponent cracks a clue. Draws a card. They do have a Knight of the Reliquary, which is a little scary. throw a token under the bus. Alright. Untap. We draw Teferi, Master of Time. So we can just phase out Tireless Tracker on their upkeep. That seems like fun. Pro Blue. Alright. Thanks, Bone Daddy, for gifting a sub. You are the #1 patrician of this channel. Okay. Loot. There's a search for Iskanta. Yeah, we're just gonna oust it. Is it really busted? Because every time I've played with it, it felt horrible. Oust Tireless Tracker. Go to combat. Attack like this. Don't doubt. Alright. I won't doubt. Gain 1,000,000 life. Pick up Stoneforge Mystic. Okay, I'm gonna leave up Spell Stutter Sprite this turn. Opponent could have like an Abrade. I can't forget to use Teferi on their turn because it can do that. Okay, opponent plays a Forest. Alright, they suit up Knight. They go to combat. Oh, I should have phased it out in response. That was my bad. Well, they attack us, so it's not like they're worried. We'll take 6. They shoot Teferi for 2, that's fine. I'm gonna play a Tireless Tracker. They're gonna bolt Teferi. Plus Teferi. Discard a land. Spell Stutter Sprite. Counter the bolt. Okay. Untap. We draw a Windswept Heath. So play Stoneforge. Go get Sword of Feast and Famine. If I can find it. Alright, play Sword of Feast and Famine. Assemble Voltron. Loot with Teferi. Discard Windswept Heath. Opponent concedes. They can't beat a Torrential Gear Hulk wielding 2 swords riding a Batter Skull. It's pretty epic. Alright. No sideboard. Game 2. It's always satisfying to be rewarded for perfect play. Oh man, you're funny. I have a hand with a Wrath and a Snapcaster. We get a Scry. I mean, like, theoretically, this can win the game. We're gonna need to find some lands, though. I don't want to keep a hand without... If this hand had a single cantrip in it, I'd feel a lot better. Yeah, you're right. We're playing Battle of Wits. Better keep. Alright. Probably have a couple of Fae of Wishes now that we have a fairy theme. Actually, I think you're correct. I think we should play a few more fairies, because there are some that are really playable that I'm not running right now. We'll start Temple of Enlightenment. Go Scrying. I will keep an Oust. Pass the turn. So we have Oust, Snap, Oust into Wrath, into, like, Gideon, so... Gaddock Teague. You feel that you're safe, opponent. Play Polluted Delta. I might just run out Snapcaster to block Teague. Or I suppose I could oust it now. I'll wait. Chad and Eddie Murphy go to IHOP the deck? What? Alright. Put a plays a Tireless Tracker. You got it. Put a goes to combat. Attacks. Alright, we got him. Fetch up Hollowed Fountain. Untapped. Run out Snapcaster. Block Gaddock Teague. Alright, we untap. Draw an island. Play Watery Grave, tapped. Oust Tracker. It should prevent our opponent from getting a lot of value. Alright, they play a birds. We draw Nimble Obstructionist, speaking of birds. Okay, so I would normally just cast Chad here, but we have Gifts Ungiven and the Reanimator package. So I'm kind of a mind that we should be reanimating like an Elishnorn, or like a Terastodon and nuke all of their lands and cast Wrath. Something nasty. Opponent plays a tracker. And passes. Let's go get Elishnorn. Should have chatted it up. Okay, Unburial Rites. Now I have to find Elishnorn. This is the secret strategy my opponent might have to win. Also have to wait while Moto lags to shit. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Is that Elspeth or Elishnorn? Oh crap, where'd it go? Elishnorn. There it is. Alright, done. Okay, we untap. Draw Field of Ruin. Play Field of Ruin. On Burial Rites, Elishnorn. Elishnorn has that dumb crown-like border. You're gonna Veil of Summer? Are you just desperate to draw a card? Because that doesn't stop anything. Alright. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a forest. Bloodbraid Elf. Cascades into Stoneforge Mystic, both of which die upon entering the battlefield. Welcome, Oz. You're watching me play absurdly powerful Battle of Wits, courtesy of the Bone Daddy. We draw Teferi. You know what? We're gonna play Chad. Teferi is almost certainly the correct play. We're gonna play Chad. Go to combat. Attack for 4. And pass the turn. Opponent plays Choke because he doesn't like fun. What a jerk. Says the man. Well, we won a match with Battle of Wits. Oh, man. Oh, boy. You guys enjoying Battle of Wits? Because I'm enjoying Battle of Wits. Let's do it again. Clearly broken. Watsy, please nerf. Even a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while. Oh, man. I would love to play first. This is the worst hand I've ever seen in my life. It had a green card in it, in a deck that doesn't even run green. I'm gonna keep this, and I'm gonna put back Sword, maybe? I think keeping Batterskull is correct. You can't. You absolutely can't find me on Grinder. I do not have a Grinder. I'm definitely keeping this. The question is, what am I putting back? We won't have 3 islands, but we need the lands. I think I put back Sword or Batterskull. Sword is probably easier to cast, and we do have a fair number of things we could draw that could wield it, but Batterskull is just better by itself. I think I'm going to put back Sword. Okay, and we're going to start Polluted Delta. Pass the turn. Alright. Opponent's turn. Kano won. Oh, man. You guys are giving me wheezy laughs. It's terrible. Alright, opponent Serum Visions. Sure. Okay, I don't think my opponent is going to be destroying any lands. So I'm going to fetch Polluted Delta and get Irrigated Farmland or Raugrin Triome. Let's get the Triome. It's the worst land we could draw. So it's the best land we could play tapped. Alright, we untap. Draw Blessed Alliance. Play an island. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Plays a Fiery Islet. Passes. We draw. Opt. Play Glacial Fortress. Pass the turn. So now we have access to Archmage's Charm or like Opt Blessed Alliance. We can do stuff. But it plays a snow-covered island. Passes, so we're gonna opt. Gideon of the Trials. I'm trying to think of what my opponent could be. So they're either the blue-red control list. If they're the blue-red aggro spells, they're the slowest hand in the universe. Or they're Storm. If they're Storm, Gideon on 0 is kind of tempting. But also, I think we just need more lands and more counter spells. Alright, Big Teferi, slightly worse than Little Chad. We draw Seachrome Coast. Also not an island. Play Seachrome Coast. Pass the turn. Seachrome Coast will always be tapped, and we're playing a tap land here. Whereas Mystic Sanctuary could come into play untapped eventually. Opponent haggles. Discarding Arclight Phoenix. Ooh, this is a deck I haven't seen in years. I think literally. Okay, opponent shocks a Steam Vents. Sure. I'm going to draw 2 cards off of Archmage's Charm. See if this forces a counter or not. We draw another Archmage's Charm, so everything is fine and dandy. We untap, we get a Fabled Passage. Play Fabled Passage. Crack Fabled Passage, get a blue source, aka an island. I could just try and run out Teferi. That is almost certainly incorrect, so I'm just going to pass. We've got time. Okay, opponent's turn. Opponent casts a Manamorphose. Let me put this over here. Okay. I could try and counter this. Most dirtily Phoenix deck I've ever seen. Yeah, no kidding. They're gonna haggle again. Sure. Discarding another Phoenix. Usually by turn 4 they've cast like 15 spells. Yeah, no kidding. This is really slow. And finally, they bolt our face. Okay, yeah, sure. Opponent's gonna get back some Phoenixes. They go to combat. We Thought Scour ourselves. And we're gonna Blessed Alliance. This was basically my plan the whole time, unless they cast something really big and scary. Which, if this gets countered, Teferi should come down. Or we can play Batterskull. Batterskull's a little more dangerous because our opponent could have a Braid. They might not main deck it, though. Can we get a Flooded Strand? Play Flooded Strand. Yeah, we're gonna go Batterskull here. Okay, opponent remands. That's what their hand is. It's all remands. It's all counter spells. Yeah, I mean, like, I figured as much. Maybe it was better to jam Teferi in case that was a mana leak, because Batterskull might be more important with the life gain, but... Ah, Sprite Dragon. Okay. So what would be better? I'm trying to think Dr. Pepper Dragon personally. Man, have you had that new Dr. Pepper cream soda? I think that's offset my weight loss goals just by existing. Finale of Promise, they're going to cast a Cantrip and Manamorphose. That's pretty good. We're going to need, like, Settle the Wreckage or a Wrath. For sure. We do have 2 draws to try and hit one. That's fair. That is fair. I've been, to stay away from soda, I've been drinking branch chain amino acids because they're slightly flavored and protein building blocks, so it's something that's just a little different than water, and that's usually enough for me. They put 2 cards on top of their deck and they cast Chart a Course. We're taking half of our life in damage. They discard Scalding Tarn. Get back Arclight Phoenix. They attack us for 11. Take 11, go to 6. Crack Flooded Strand. Get a Hollowed Fountain. We could get Blessed Alliance with a Mystic Sanctuary, but I honestly think we need... It's basically Wrath or Bust. Alright, draw 2 cards. And it's nothing. Cycle Irrigated Farmland. Yeah, Brazen Borrower doesn't even keep us alive. Alright. Cool. I haven't had cognac in forever. Tormod's Crypt, Relic, and Surgical's Inn. What comes out? So we have to take out things that are help us in like the graveyard deck matchup here. Hmm. I have to cut 11 cards. We're going to cut Wrath, Day of Judgment. We have Settle the Wreckage and Supreme Verdict. That should be fine. We're also going to cut... I think some cantrips. Probably Thought Scours. And a Visions of Beyond. Yeah, whatever will we do? And then 4 more cards. We'll cut 1 on Burial Rites. It's unlikely we'll need both. Mind Sculptor is super bad because it just dies to Bolt, and Fate Sealing is probably not going to do enough. And then I'll go down to Deprive because I'm not sure we can be bouncing lands in this matchup. Watch my opponent side into Blue Moon and not have a single piece that they need to artifact, or that they actually need their graveyard for. Alright, 4 lands, Timely Reinforcements, Cantrip, Battle of Wits. Let's do this. Start Triome. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Spirebluff Canal. We draw Hollowed Fountain. Play Flooded Strand. Pass the turn. We will if our opponent taps out and doesn't have lethal. They play a Snow-Covered Island. They Manamorphose into Blue-Red. Stormwing Entity. Okay. Crack Flooded Strand. Get a Snow-Covered Island. Cast Omen. We do need a 5th land, but not yet. We get a Vendilion Click. So I don't know how other people feel about this card, but I always thought this card was a little ambitious to be running in Modern. Alright, we untap. We draw an Opt. So I think what we're going to do here is just play Field of Ruin and Timely Reinforcements. Yeah, we'll use Click to clear the way next turn. Basically, I think on our opponent's end step, then we'll cast Battle of Wits. We're at 25 life, so unless our opponent has a ridiculous chain of spells, which they already used 1 Manamorphose, so hopefully they don't. Another Manamorphose, because why wouldn't they? Alright. Charts a Course. Discarding a Phoenix. They did not have enough to reanimate it this turn. That is useful. Good for us. We take 5, go to 20. We draw Glacial Fortress. Okay. Play Fortress. Go to combat. We will attack for 3. The backup way to win is going to be basically beat down, which I don't think we can beat harder than our opponent, but we might be able to gain enough life to offset the beatdown. Alright. Opponent plays a Snow-Covered Island. Charts a Course. They discard an Arclight Phoenix. They lava dart us. Okay. We've so got this. Maybe. They sack a land for lava dart. Okay, we opt. Condemn. I will keep condemn. Opponent gets back 2 phoenixes. Well, the problem is we're not going to cast condemn at any point if we're casting Battle of Wits. So opponent attacks. Flash Vendilion Click. Opponent mystically disputes Click. Okay. We take a measly 13. And Battle of Wits is no longer no longer capable of winning the game. Well then, that's pretty good. We can condemn one thing and die. No justice. No justice. Alright. Let me take a look here. Oh, jeez. I'm sorry for anybody also wearing headphones, because if that came through as loud as it came through for me, I'd feel really bad. Okay, let's check what fairies we have in Modern. We'll say CMC like 0 to 4. Color's blue. I'm a skeleton. I don't have any ears. Nice. Okay. There's a Fairy Conclave. Sentinels of Glenelendras, a 4-mana 2/3 with Flash. So we have actual Pesterbite, which is probably not bad. Flyer aggro. I'm thinking we run like all the Flash Fairies. So we have a number of like pretty good ones. Like Pestermite, technically Quickling. Quickling's probably not the best for this deck. Whenever you draw your second card every turn, put a 1/1 counter on Fairy Vandal. Like, that's good. We're specifically focusing on fairies for now, though. And the reason behind that is we have spell stutter sprites, so we kind of want to stay focused on devotion to fairies, question mark. Oh, Mistbind Click. Mistbind Click would be pretty good. Sower of Temptation's probably a little too fragile. Can we play another game of Folio Pile, pretty please? Maybe later, but not right now. Okay. So I will run Fae of Wishes, which lets us throw 1 Battle of Wits into the sideboard. Fairy Vandal seems good. Hypnotic Sprite is technically a counterspell as well as a creature, isn't it? Yes. You just got a Scalding Tarn and a Force of Will for 120? Nice. Oh man, my roommate is making spaghetti or something like it, and it smells delicious. Are we undefeated so far? No, we lost last game, unfortunately. Last round, unfortunately, and pretty handily to Phoenix. Alright. Pestermites. Folio pile is. Nightvale Sprite. Nightvale Sprite I don't like as much because we can't do things at instant speed with it. It is decent. Like, the top deck manipulation is good, and we have swords and stuff, so it's not like it would be bad. I would say Fairy Miscreant, but there's no way we're ever drawing two and having both resolve. What other... Are there any multicolor fairies that are good? Wee Dragonauts. Alright. So we need to cut a lot of the non-fairy creatures that don't directly contribute to what's going on. So I'm keeping Snapcaster Mage. Keeping Click, Borrower, Pestermite. This probably means 7-Up Dragon. Unsettled Mariner. Yes. I'll get another one. Not a big deal. So what we're going to go down... This means that Stifle Bird's got to come out. Gideon of the Trials probably has to come out as well. I'm not 100% on that one yet. This also means I'm probably running more equipment than I am right now. I need to cut about 15 cards. Gearhulk can go. We can cut some number of cantrips. So I'll cut the Visions of Beyond. Azorius Charm. Actually, Azorius Charm has like Tiny Giant. I mean, kind of. A little bit. Snapcaster's too good to cut. Azorius Charm has the secondary mode of giving everything lifelink, especially if you have a lot of creatures, so that could actually be quite good in our deck. Yeah, I think Small Gideon is coming out. Big Chad can stay. Keep just one Unburial Rites. Hopefully we don't ever draw it. And... let's see. Is there any better removal we can play? Like 1-mana white exile removal that relies on creatures now, because we have so many. CMC 1. There's Dire Tactics, but that relies on humans and having black mana. Color only white. Type instant or sorcery. Swallow Whole, but that only exiles tapped creatures, so that's not good enough. Isolate only hits 1-drops. There's Ephemerate. Ephemerate would be kind of fun, flickering things like Spell Stutter. Gideon's Defeat only hits white things. Time to Reflect requires zombies. Dispatch requires artifacts. We don't have quite enough of those. Gaze of Justice is 3 white creatures, so no. Reciprocate is only good after a creature hits you, so that's not good. And I think that's everything, really. Everything that's modern legal, anyway. Oh, there's Fairy Guide Mother. That's a 1-mana 1/1 flying white fairy. I don't know if it's good enough, though. The pump isn't, like, it's better in an aggressive deck than ours. Okay. So let me go get another Unsettled Mariner. What other equipment are we not running? We have Truth and Justice. But I don't feel like that kills fast enough. We could play Sword of the Animist and never miss a land drop. I guess I'll throw Body and Mind in the deck. I might need another sword that has protection from green on it. Jitte is not modern legal and shall remain that way. I hope. Okay, so I need to get one Unsettled Mariner. Wait, hang on. I should be Card Hoarder, I think. No, MTGO Traders Bot. Okay. Did someone say Thunder Fury, Blessed Blade of the Windseeker? I think Jitte is. I really do. That's a card that I don't think and I might be like exaggerating its power level, but it is a strong card, and I think it is a little strong for modern. Unsettled, if I can spell Mariner. Let's look at mythic rare equipment really quick. Elbrus, the Binding Blade. We can get Withengar. There's Godsend. It's probably not good enough. How about rare equipment? Basilisk Collar could actually have a place. Black Blade Reforged is a little slow. Sword of the Animist I kind of want. Loxodon Warhammer could gain a bunch of life. I love Haunted Plate Mail. Not really relevant to what we're doing here, though, right now. Okay, well, I think we're fine. Quietist Spike. What about Runechanter's Pike? No, we probably don't dump enough spells into the grave. Alright. Battle of Fairies, here we go. Time to see if this is any good. When we focus on the fairy sub-strategy. Sword Tribal, let's go. World Slayer! Oh, man. We should definitely get World Slayer and Armageddon everything. Or Obliterate. Isn't it Obliterate on a sword, basically? Destroy all permanents other than World Slayer. Okay, well. We have Search for Iskanta, we have 3 mana to Fairy, we have a Hypnotic Sprite. And a Sword of War and Peace. Ah! Nope. Wrong one. Come on. Here we go. Tron. Our mortal enemy? I can't talk. I don't English very well. Another Seachrome Coast. Play Seachrome Coast. Pass the turn. I forgot my Tron hate at home. So no spreading seas in the board here. Anemone? Or mortal anemone? Alright, opponent did not find another land, which is good news for us. So play Flooded Strand, crack Flooded Strand, get an island. Isn't it, though? I remember, like, I opened 500 of them from M12 packs, it felt like. Never got any Titans. Always got World Slayer. Best use in EDH is to make the whole table upset. Yeah, you just Mycosynth Lattice and Darksteel sit it, or Darksteel Forge, and then everybody's sad but you. Always yield. Spell Stutter Sprite will go to the grave. Opponent just asked if it's lagging for me, and I said, yeah, but that might be because I'm playing Battle of Wits. Play Teferi Time Raveler. Unsummon a map. We get a path. That might be the world's worst deck. Telling your opponent what deck you're on. Alright, opponent cracks map. Gets an Urza's Tower. Plays an Urza's Tower. Then plays a map, presumably. Yep. Cool. Alright, we untap. Search for Iskanta. We will mill a Mystic Sanctuary. Draw an island. Play an island. Tick up Teferi. Play other Teferi. Loot. We get a Fae of Wishes. We can wish for Battle of Wits. We're going to discard other Teferi. Other Teferi. Okay, pass the turn. It could be anything. Telling your opponent what deck you're on. I can imagine you hiding behind multiple large stacks of cards. It could be anything. Think you could play Teferi Tribal at this point? Oh, we have Teferi Time Ravelers now. We can play Teferi at the pool. We could play Teferi and Karn go to the pool. And make everyone sad. But it gets an Urza's Power Plant. Chromatic Sphere, sure. They crack for green. Ancient Stirrings. I love that deck. Now she's bringing friends. Opponent plays a relic, or gets a Relic of Progenitus. So they can nuke the graves. Keep us off of Search for Iskanta for a while. They crack Relic. They play another Chromatic Star. Loot with Teferi at their end step. We get a Spell Snare. I'm gonna discard Sword. Untap. We will mill a Windswept Heath. Draw Fae of Wishes. Loot with Teferi. Unsettled Mariner. Discard Fae of Wishes. Play Flooded Strand. Uptick Teferi. Ooh, we can Fae of Wishes. We can wish for Battle of Wits on our opponent's turn. That's sweet. Alright, pass the turn. Alright. Opponent cracks for a 2-mana spell, Sylvan Scrying. We tell them no. Assuming we live 2 more turns? We're almost about to live 5 more turns. Seven mana. Opponent plays a Wormcoil Engine. Okay, we're gonna loot. I wanted to actually wish for it, but like now, now we could just cast it, which is lame. We'll wish for it. We might have to back up. Wishing for it again is our backup plan. We need 2 times a week back, Kano. Got too many decks to play and too little time. Man, I think you're right. I have to find another time. Wah! I drew what I was wishing for. Alright, Path Wormcoil. Crack Flooded Strand, get Raugrin Triome. Alright, untap. You know what? I'm not going to mill Vendilion Click. I will Transform Search, though. Are we in a league yet? No. We are not in a league yet. Uptick Teferi. Loot with other Teferi. Discard Elishnorn. Cast Battle of Wits. Now if my opponent casts Emrakul or Ulamog 2.0, we have outs. $5 they drop Ugin. Ugin would be really bad for us, yes. Opponent says, what the hell is this? Battle of Wits, the deck. I didn't even realize you had over 200 cards in your deck. Ah, yes. The old stealth Battle of Wits on Moto. You could just type your worst nightmare. Battle of Wits, the Flamethrower. Opponent plays a Karn Liberated. Well, I guess they have to take Battle of Wits. Otherwise, they just lose. Yep, there goes Battle of Wits. Man, we need a Time Warp in the sideboard for Fae of Wishes. That would be sweet. Battle of Wits the musical. Okay, opponent plays O-Stone. Battle of Wits 3, the search for Battle of Wits 2. Loot with Teferi. Yeah, dump Colonnade. Untap. Draw Omen of the Sea. O-Stone is all non-land permanents, so yes. Uptick Teferi. We're probably just going to wish for Battle of Wits again. Loot with Teferi. Dump Omen. You can Teferi bounce and then click it. Yeah, but I'd rather my opponent activate it. So I'm going to take 2 extra turns, and I'm going to wish for Battle of Wits at the end step here, and we're just going to win. We are going to win with Battle of Wits. Opponent's going to exile as Kanta. Sure. Turns out 3 turns in a row is good. Who would thunk? Most people found out about me through Battle of Wits. I think even Bone Daddy found out about me through Battle of Wits. Because I used to post on MTG Salvation forums about it. Nah, Teferi ain't busted. Another Karn. Yeah, I'll take 2 extra turns. That seems fair. Alright, we're going to flash in click. And click our opponent. He can pop O-Stone currently, so we're going to have to find a way around that, and I have an idea. And it involves Fae of Wishes multiple times. But it has Kozilek, a second O-Stone, and another Worm Coil. Okay. So we untap. We do have a Teferi downtick. Play Fabled Passage. I keep forgetting that Teferi can hit like everything and he's a broken card. Get an island. Bounce O-Stone. Opponent's gonna blow up the world. Alright. Wish. Get the best version of Battle of Wits. The one that has the real flavor text that's the best. You know what? We'll cast the Fairy too, for good measure. Okay. We untap. Draw Misty. Play Misty. Play Battle of Wits. Go to our next turn. Battle of Wits, win the game. Hey, we beat a tier 1 deck! The wizard who reads 1,000 books is powerful. The wizard who memorizes 1,000 books is insane. Alright. We'll bring in 3 Stony Silences, and I'm gonna cut the 3 of the double blue Mesmeric Glare Fairies. Hypnotic Sprite. Over here, we're trying to learn how to read. And the wizard that doesn't know how to read is Kano. Probably should have more of a toolbox in the sideboard, yeah. This was just like generic, whatever like the easy path to make a sideboard was to build. I'm gonna have to post some of these games on the YouTube channel, probably as additional content. I don't want to offset the regular content with stuff you guys have already seen, But I can put them up there to archive if you want to show them to other people. All right. Yeah. Yeah, I can work with this. We'll keep. Please meme it up. Is there an artifact that can tutor for enchantments? Karn the Great Creator would be cool. No, there is not an artifact that can tutor for enchantments. Oh, yes, there is. Planar Bridge. Planar Bridge will even put it onto the battlefield for you. But it's also 6 mana to cast and 8 mana to activate. Wishclaw Talisman? Now that's way more reasonable. It's also Planar Portal. Start Fabled Passage. Pass the turn. That's true. That is true. Oh, they don't get to activate it. Nice. Fairy bounces it back to your hand. Gross. Yeah, I like this. I like where this is going. Bolas' Citadel tutors up every card from your deck. There's got to be a wish for Bolas' Citadel, like wish for the life gain storm card, play your entire deck combo that no one's tried yet. We're gonna get a Plains. Untap. Draw Marsh Flats, play an island, pass the turn. Alright, opponent's going to Expedition Map. Picking up some kind of Tron land. It's a tower. Opponent plays Urza's Tower. Plays Expedition Map. Flash Fairy Vandal. Untap. Draw Verdict, which is not particularly useful here. It was. It was a hard lock, yes. Your opponent literally could not cast spells anymore. Stiflebird is not in here now. I took him out to make room for fairies, but honestly, I think I'm going to drop them as Merit Glare Fairy and put Stiflebird back in. We'll get in for one. If our opponent just has, like, Kozilek, that is scary because they draw a bunch of cards, but we're not particularly cast... well, they could cast spells, but they could never resolve them. Yes, that is correct. Okay, opponent plays Power Plant. They have 9 mana. They play Karn. They exile to Fairy. Sure. They play an Expedition Map. Okay. We untap. Draw Castle Ardenvale. Play Castle. Draw card. Counter on the Fairy. We get a Deprive. We couldn't have tapped differently. I didn't expect to draw a double blue spell, though I guess I should have. Go to combat. Attack Karn. Karn will get to plus. But if they can't remove our creature, we get to play and equip a sword. Could have played Marsh Flats. Yes, I could have. Probably should have drew first. But I didn't. Okay, opponent makes us exile a card from our hand. We'll exile Supreme Verdict. That was a punt. Thanks for keeping me honest. Alright, we lose to Ulamog. Man, Ulamog would actually attack twice. Alright. Let's be on the play and not suck. We could have countered that Ulamog and still lost 3 of our lands, yes. I know they had to plus Karn that turn, but they definitely could have minused him next turn. I was introduced to Steel Panther earlier this week. I have heard of Steel Panther, I have never listened to Steel Panther. We can successfully block an Ulamog. It is true. Okay, Oust is not particularly useful. I feel like this hand just does nothing and my opponent assembles Tron and we lose. But like, at the same time... Alright. Start tap land. Go scrying. Prismatic Vista to the bottom. We need action. Steel Panther is far beyond what I'm capable of thinking. Fair. How is that deck so consistent to keep 7? All of our hands are bad, so we always keep 7. But consistently bad. I told my opponent clever deck building and percentages of cards are the same as a regular control deck. Get a Hollowed Fountain. Play Search. Pass the turn. Never bullshit a bullshitter. Alright, search for his Kanta. I will not mill a Logic Knot. I will keep a Logic Knot. Play Island, pass the turn. Alright, put a Cracks Expedition map. Gets a tower. Sorry. Dropped my phone. Peeked the microphone. The old Logic Knot search for his Kanta combo. Yep. Well, we don't have to exile any lands or anything from the grave, so it is a combo here. It's a really nice 3-mana Censor we played there. Alright, untap. Search for his Kanta. We will mill Fae of Wishes. Draw Seachrome Coast. Play Seachrome Coast. Play Sword of Light and Shadow. Pass the turn. Man, I hope my opponent's just got a handful of green cards they can't cast. But with my luck, it'll be Karn 2, exiling Boogaloo. If it's Wormcoil Engine, we can just oust it. Ousting a deck like Tron when they don't have a whole bunch of stars to crack is pretty good, because you force them to redraw threats that you have shown you can deal with. Opponent has 10 mana. They play a Sphere. They crack a Sphere. They have 9 mana. Ancient Stirrings. What's gonna kill us this time? Just a Chromatic Star. Whoo! Could have been way worse. Opponent plays Chromatic Star. Cracks for green. Seven mana. 6 mana. Worm Coil. And a map. Alright. Untap. Search for his Kanta. Finds us Search for his Kanta, which is going to the grave. We draw Snow-Covered Island. Play an island. Play Teferi. Down tick on Worm Coil. Pass the turn. You found when you were timed out like 2 years ago? Alright, opponent cracks map. They get tower number 3. They play a tower. Chromatic Sphere. Crack it for green. You spammed caps. Oh, is it like auto mod or something? But it plays an O-stone. No, my search for Iskanta! My sword and Teferi! They Sylvan Scrying. Get a Sanctum of Ugin. Alright, we untap. We draw. Day of Judgment. It's true. Uptick Teferi. Play Colonnade. Pass the turn. Untap some lands. I think the only way we could destroy lands is Terastodon or Teferi Alt. I think that'd be the only way we could. Opponent plays a Sanctum of Ugin. Oh, we do have Field of Ruins, yes. Totally forgot we had Field of Ruins. And possibly Ghost Quarters. Draw a card. Play a land. I guess we get in with Colonnade. Go to combat. Get in for 4. Take our opponent to 16. Untap some lands. I've never listened or watched Steel Panther, but I have a vague idea of what they're about. I've heard of them through, like, third parties. Alright, opponent draws a card. Plays a Chromatic Star. Cracks the star for green. They play an Urza's Mine. Expedition map. Used to be 16 Sigmas and then watched Steel Panther. He lost whole 10 Sigmas. Wow. Railing. Dropping the top memes. We untap. We draw Condemn. Uptick Teferi. We get a Fabled Passage. Play Fabled Passage. Crack it. Get a Plains. Play Unsettled Mariner. Animate Colonnade. I have the greatest chat on Twitch. Let me tell you. At least of anybody I've ever seen. You're all wonderful people. I love all of you. Alright, opponent's gonna crack Expedition map. Kano's getting weird. He's not even drinking. Untap some lands. Opponent plays a Blast Zone. Presumably. They play a Relic. Crack Relic. Exile a bunch of cards and they draw a card. When we have to resort to Colonnade beats, something's gone wrong. Will it happen? Will we beat the unluckiest Tron player in existence? He's only gone through about 60 cards. I can't imagine he doesn't have another threat to play. Opponent. He's doubled up on all of his Tron lands. Well, he plays a Blast Zone, okay. He's holding another power plant. So we can actually tick up Blast Zone to 5. We get a Timely Reinforcements. Plus Teferi to 8. We draw Cryptic Command. Alright, go to combat. I'm just going to attack for 2. I'm not going to attack with Colonnade here. I'm tempted to, if he taps out to, like, plus Blast Zone, just bounce it. Alright. Alright, chat. Do we bounce the Blast Zone now and force him to draw a threat? Or do we bounce Teferi when he activates Blast Zone? Bounce it now? Alright. 1000% bounce now. You got it. We get a Colonnade. Untap some islands. Yeah, he gave us back 2 lands. Stifle could be modern legal. I don't know if you've ever gotten a fetch land stifled, but it's not fun. We do it to people all the time with Repudiate Replicate. Opponent just plays Urza's Power Plant. We draw Spell Snare. I guess we just alt Teferi. Like, there's no need to plus up to 9. Our opponent could just get something that could kill Teferi. Yeah, I'm just gonna alt. Exiling 1 permanent a turn, I hope, is good enough. Alright, go to combat. Every turn Vindicate, let's go. Alright. I mean, opponent's probably going to die to Colonnade. I'm not going to expose the other Colonnade in case my opponent does draw a big freaking Eldrazi. Cast Timely for no value. Raelin called it, we beat the unluckiest Tron player in existence. That's 2 matches we've won with Battle of Wits. I feel like this is a new record. Alright. Okay, let's see. Yeah, no threats for 30 turns. Okay, so build Lavinia at the pool, pretty please. Sorry, a single worm. He played a Karn. He O-stoned his own Karn because we had some scary things on the board, I guess. Sell his Karns to become a Legends of Runeterra player. Uninstalled. Oh man. Freaking brutal. All right. So we can play Lavinia at the pool. We can build the new version of that deck because we have Teferis now. We can play Sultai, the Sultai control list Six Sigma gave me. Um, we can take this into a league because memes. What do you guys want to do? I'm open for any of that. What does the chat want to see? Oz's vote was for Lavinia at the pool. If that's your top decking luck, Tron is not the deck for you. Agreed. Oh, I also have mono green Tron, but that's not as fun. Grinder. All right, hang on. I think I have the old Lavinia at the pool list. Maybe we can update it. Yes, I do. I still have it. I don't have the Caverns of Souls, but that's okay. We don't need them. Teferi. So we definitely run all of those. Let's see, what other adjustments do we make here? Oh, we can probably slim down to one big Teferi. Buy in before it's illegal to give money to Riot Games. Are they getting a loot box scandaled, despite the fact that they usually only do cosmetic transactions? I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's see. Let's do. I'm gonna cut aboard the Weatherlight. You're learning trading on the side, and it's a lot. I don't know anything about stocks, nor am I licensed to give advice on stocks. Oh, okay. Yeah, I could see how that would potentially be an issue. Force of negations in the side. I need to cut one card. I also need to replace these caverns. Let's see, type. Oops. Type land. Colors blue or white. Format modern. Insider trading is cool until you get caught. Why do you think I'm leaving this paper trail? Oh man. We could play Nimbus Maze. That'd be a decent white blue untapped land. Because it also taps for colorless. Port Town telegraphs a little too hard what you're doing. Also bad to top deck. I guess I could just go Glacial Fortresses. I already have one. They're bad in multiples, though. Deck is too fast for Colonnade. I guess Adakar Wastes is probably the next best. Because that always produces white or blue, but it is painful. Alright, I think we got a deck. Oh, I need to cut one card. Excuse me. So we're going to put a knowledge pool in the side. And we're going to play a Karn or two in the main deck. And I'm going to cut a Rest in Peace for a liquid metal coating. And a Force of Negation for a Trinisphere. And maybe Rest in Pieces for Relic. And probably That's good enough. Who the hell is Bob Maggot? My former landlord. He's also my best friend. Bob Maggot is my best friend and former landlord. Is he in the chat right now? Because if he is, he should totally say hi. Doesn't look like he is. All right, one card, gotta cut it. Probably Spell Queller. Let's do this. Lavinia at the pool has been resurrected. Is it just your mom or dad? No, no. College best friend, Lavinia at the pool, 2020, maxed out on Teferis. Let's go. All right, we got Maelstrom Wanderer. We got Lavinia. Oh, fair. That's fair. We got a curve. I'm going to keep. We got Path if our opponent's playing a creature deck. Razor Verge Thicket. Birds. Start Obero. Play Maelstrom Wanderer. Opponent's going to think we're spirits. Pass the turn. If we draw Grand Architect into Knowledge Pool, we just win. This deck is irresponsible. You know, you make a great point. And that's why when Lavinia goes to the pool's closed. Along with your chances of winning. Alright, pass the turn. How old is Lavinia? I have no idea. She looks like she's like between 20 and 30. I don't know. I don't know how old Lavinia is. But it plays Windswept Heath. Looks like there's some kind of like Naya creature deck. They're main decking Remorseful Cleric, which tells me they're like main decking Grave Hate for a reason. Old enough to know better, young enough not to care. Eldritch Evolution. Joy. I guess we're holding up Path to Exiles the rest of the game. Prime Speaker Vanifar. I see, said the blind man as he was peeing into the wind. It was all coming back to me. Shock Hollowed Fountain. Path Prime Speaker. Go to combat. Attack for 3. Alright, nothing we can do about that. I guess I could have cracked Maelstrom Wanderer and probably should have. I say immediately after saying nothing I can do about that. Click. Oh, man. One thing's for sure, after doing so many limited recording sessions off stream, I play so much better when I'm not streaming. Thank you, Oz. Thank you for keeping me honest. Alright. Opponent's got nothing. We get a Treasure Mage. Play Treasure Mage. You were a puntin' fool today? Well, that happens sometimes. Go get Knowledge Pool. Play Hollowed Fountain tapped. Go to combat and get in for 1. Oz is actually a football kicker. Opponent has a spell to cast, and it is Restoration Angel. So they almost certainly have, like, Kiki. Gonna let that resolve. Then I'm gonna Path Resto. I might just hard cast Knowledge Pool, but then our opponent might be able to hard lock us out. If they tap out, we can play Knowledge Pool and cast a 0-mana Walking Ballista because we'll have priority first. And hopefully, like, if we hit Teferi or something. But if our opponent also hits Teferi, then they can't cast any spells either. Opponent is playing Yorion, I just realized. Can we draw Glacial Fortress? They played Sacred Foundry untapped, which means they're probably courting. You know what? What could go wrong? Knowledge Pool. Alright. Victory favors the bold. I don't know if that's true or not. There's another Knowledge Pool. If we still had Lavinia, we would have the hard lock, yes. Okay, opponent casts Path. It gets put into the pool. Opponent casts another Knowledge Pool. So be active player, non-active player for spell resolutions. What happens with... Okay. Chief Engineer, Wanderer, Visions, Eldritch Evolution, Chord of Calling. So we're going to cast Eldritch Evolution and get Lavinia. Because our opponent's goes off first. Ours triggers first, and then theirs triggers because of active player, non-active player order. Cast Eldritch Evolution. Sacrificing Treasure Mage. We'll get Teferi. Okay. We absolutely did just lock them out. And that's the game. So despite the punt, we still got there. Did we make any adjustments? We could Spellskite. Because Spellskite... Does Spellskite interrupt Kiki combo? Does anyone remember? It's been so long since I've actually run into that interaction. I'm so good at this game. I really doubt that, West. Don't mind Six Sigma. He gets a little aggressive on the Discord invites, but it's fine. You know what? I'm just gonna run it back. I'm not on Grindr. There is no Grindr account. Oh god. Anyway. Okay, Grand Architect could give us a really sweet hand. If we can go like land, if we draw Lavinia, opponent starts birds. Okay, we're gonna play Flooded Strand, crack Flooded Strand for an island. And Serum Visions. We draw another Grand Architect. Knowledge Pool to the bottom, Lavinia to the top. Alright, Lavinia Grand Architect Knowledge Pool will do it. Opponent plays a Cinderglade. Passes. We draw Lavinia. Pass the turn. If we draw a Mausoleum Wanderer or... What's the other one? Judge's Familiar. If we draw a Mausoleum Wanderer, Judge's Familiar, we can play Knowledge Pool next turn and have the hard lock. Otherwise, it's going to take us a turn. Opponent plays Tribute Mage, getting a 2-mana artifact. What could that be? Phyrexian Revoker. I don't know what that interrupts, if anything. We'll play Flooded Strand. And we're just gonna pass, I think. I'm not gonna play Grand Architect, because I don't think my opponent has seen it yet. And we can path it. We're gonna have enough mana that we can play Grand Architect and just play Knowledge Pool next turn. So I think this is the play here. Oh, yes, it can interrupt Grand Architect. I just don't think my opponent has seen Grand Architect yet. Because it wasn't in either of the Knowledge Pools. Opponent plays a Spike Feeder. Phyrexian Revoker can. It can name lands. Oh, no, you're right. It can't name fetch lands, you're right. For some reason, I always get them messed up. We're not going to pay life. Untap. We draw Time Raveler. Oh, hang on. Raylan's right. I can't math. Because I pay 3 to get 2 back, and that's only 5. Play Teferi. We're going to bounce Spike Feeder. Pass the turn, leave up path. They play Spike Feeder. No attacks. Path Spike Feeder, because that's definitely a combo piece. Untap. Draw Mausoleum Wanderer. So play Iganjo Castle. Tick up to Fairy. We can play Grand Architect. That's 6 mana. Yeah. So Grand Architect. I can play the Wanderer, but I have to tap my whole board either way I do that. Add mana. Add mana. Knowledge pool. So opponent can attack and kill Teferi, but like, we have Lavinia, she's a 3/3, and our opponent can't cast any removal that'll hit her. Alright, opponent scoops it up. Lavinia at the pool, bringing in a win. The same guy we just played. It is. And I don't really want to queue up against the same opponent again. Cool. Alright. Farming noobs with Lavinia at the pool. Alright, we'll play first. This seems like a pretty good curve. We'll keep. So start Flooded Strand. Crack Flooded Strand for an island. Does life get better than this? Probably. Possibly. Maybe. Oh, I should not be F6'd here. Our opponent could very easily have something we want to counter. Yeah, if we draw Lavinia Knowledge Pool, that'd be perfect. Okay, opponent Lava Darts our Wanderer. Right, we untap. We draw Island. So let's Serum Visions. Draw Edakar Wastes. Big Teferi, land to the bottom. Play Flooded Strand. Pass the turn. How did we just get Lava Darted? Because this is probably the combo mono red list. Vexing Devil. Okay, I will take the 4 damage. Goblin Guide. Alright, well this does let us sort of manipulate our top deck. Top card of our deck is Lavinia. Lavinia counters Lava Darts. So I'm kind of interested in drawing Lavinia here, if I'm completely honest. Untap, draw Lavinia. Play Glacial Fortress. Play Lavinia. Pass the turn. That would counter like a Rift Bolt at this point in time. Or light up the stage. Okay, no longer a thing. Which probably is gonna die. This is the Azorius Renegade one. Okay, opponent attacks for 2. We get a Sea Chrome Coast. No blocks. Opponent suspends a Rift Bolt. Suspends another Rift Bolt. Okay. Crack Flooded Strand. Get a Hollowed Fountain. Tapped. Untap. Knowledge Pool. Unfortunately, we cannot play Knowledge Pool. Lavinia does counter them because no mana is cast to spend, or no mana is spent to cast them. Teferi Plus is tempting, but I think we actually play Grand Architect here because Grand Architect lets us block Goblin Guide. So Lavinia counters both of those bolts. Our opponent can no longer Lava Dart. I think Grand Architect is the play here. Okay. Pass the turn. Lavinia saves us from Bolt on Lavinia. No mana is spent to cast these. They get countered. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast it, counter that spell. Yeah, if they had just hard cast it, we would have been fine. Or they would have been fine, I mean. So yeah, if our opponent had a lightning bolt, you're correct. Teferi saves us from a lightning bolt. You are correct. My apologies, I misunderstood you, Raylin. As always, you are much smarter than I am. I think you have the, like... Probably because I think you've watched me the longest. I think you have the highest overall call rate on what the correct play is. Okay, opponent plays an Eidolon of the Great Revel. And passes. We untap. Draw Serum Visions. Tap Lavinia. Play Knowledge Pool. Yeah, we'll Teferi next turn. We're taking 2 damage this turn. Opponent is reading Knowledge Pool. Yeah, so my thought process was... I just don't want to block with Lavinia. That's really the thought process. Skewer the Critics, Lightning Bolt, Skull Crack, Treasure Mage, Hollowed Fountain, Hollowed Fountain. Play Seachrome Coast, pass the turn. So this is technically we're taking 2 unnecessary damage here. Oh, I guess I could have tapped both of my creatures and played a Teferi and like bounced a Eidolon, but I would have taken a bunch of extra damage and Teferi would have died. And I think overall I take the least amount of damage doing this. Okay. When it goes to combat, attacks. Top card of our deck is Spell Queller. Okay, block here. Yeah, we definitely win. We untap. We draw Spell Queller. Play Addercar Wastes. Take some damage. Teferi goes into the pool. Skewer the Critics. Eidolon. Then we can just throw a Serum Visions into the pool and get to Fairy. Okay, unsummon guide, and we're good. Opponent can no longer cast spells. We are no longer dead to Exquisite Firecraft. Good call. I don't think he's figured it out, no. Opponent casts a Goblin Guide. Knowledge Pool. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Concede? Nope, he's still playing mountains. Alright, untap. Plus to Fairy. Play Obero. Go to combat. Attack, attack. We're gonna lose to some janky manland. I'm gonna play a Spell Queller. We're gonna get Treasure Mage. Get Knowledge Pool. Knowledge Pool into Knowledge Pool. G2 Encampment. Okay, Knowledge Pool, Knowledge Pool. Get Spell Queller. We're just shortening the clock here is all we're doing. We do have a bolt in there, that is correct. But we already have 10 damage on the board, so any spell is just instantly lethal for them. Opponent casts an Exquisite Firecraft. Good call, Bone Daddy. I'm really glad we ended up playing Teferi. Opponent is playing uncounterable burn spells. You could use the old 1-2 double barbarian ring. Yeah, that's true. Opponent was still trying to cast stuff. I'll tell opponent. I'm explaining it to our opponent because he's like, why doesn't this work? Christophilus, welcome! How are you doing? Yeah, I told him that. I told him that the knowledge pool trigger doesn't meet Teferi's static ability timing restriction. He said I had this last turn, but I cast Goblin instead of Firecraft. I mean, last turn we had Teferi, right? Firecraft. There was a turn, I think, where we had just Lavinia and Teferi, but that was a mistake our opponent made. Right now we're playing Lavinia at the pool. It is Knowledge Pool, Teferi, Lavinia, Hardlock. I guess you could call it a combo, but Knowledge Pool plus Teferi, or Knowledge Pool plus Teferi, or Knowledge Pool plus Lavinia means our opponent can no longer cast spells, but we can. Just in a janky roundabout way. Maybe opponent thinks it's only Lavinia's ability stopping it, not Teferi's. I explained it was Teferi. Like I said that in the chat. I don't know if you guys can read it, but probably not worth messing up my overlay for. Basic Land Shark! Welcome! This deck is... I don't think we've ever gotten the ideal scenario of one-drop Lavinia Grand Architect pool. I don't think we've ever gotten the combo. All the old viewers come home to roost. I mean, you can't play anymore is one of my favorite ways to win, right? It's also like, once it's assembled, you can't get around it either. Okay, we have Lavinia, Teferi, and Queller. I guess we keep. We could have a worse hand, right? When it starts Mountain, they did keep 7. My favorite kind of magic. You'll fit right in here. Alright, we draw Hallowed Fountain. Play Flooded Strand, pass the turn. We could fetch a Plains if we really needed a path. I'm trying to think. I think the only thing I would path is like an Eidolon. Opponent bolts our face. Skewers. Only have 3 cards left. We'll go to blocks, and then I think we'll path. My mic audio is clipping. I can turn down my audio slightly. I hope that... I've been having a lot of audio issues lately, and I've been needing to track them all down. Alright, we are going to shock this turn. Kind of sucks, but is what it is. Pass the turn. I don't know if that made it any better. Okay, opponent plays a mountain. Lights up the stage. They can play a Goblin Guide this turn, and they do. They don't attack, though. Interesting. I think that was a mistake. I think my opponent should have attacked. We draw a big Teferi. Play Ijongo Castle. Or Iganjo Castle. 'Cause I don't know if that's how you say it. Or Iganjo Castle. 'Cause I don't know if that's how you say it. 'Cause I don't know if that's how you say it. 'Cause I don't know if that's how you say it. 'Cause I don't know if that's how you say it. 'Cause I don't know if that's how you say it. 'Cause I don't know if that's how you say it. 'Cause I don't know if that's how you say it. 'Cause I don't know if that's how you say it. 'Cause I don't know if that's how you say it. 'Cause I don't know if that's how you say it. 'Cause I don't know if that's how you say it. 'Cause I don't know if that's how you say it. 'Cause I don't know if that's how you say it. 'Cause I don't know if that's how you say it. 'Cause I don't know if that's how you say it. 'Cause I don't know if that's how you say it. 'Cause I don't know if that's how you say it. 'Cause I don't know if that's how you say it. 'Cause I don't know if that's how you say it. 'Cause I don't know if that's how you say it. 'Cause I don't know if that's how you say it. 'Cause I don't know if that's how you say it. 'Cause I don't know if that's how you say it. Damn. Alright. Oh, you know what? I bet it's my post-processing filter. 1 second. How's that? I probably got a lot quieter because I dropped the post-processing gain. But if that fixed the clipping issue, that's a big deal. When it plays a goblin guide, plays a land. Goes to combat. Slightly better? Okay. Top card of our deck is Serum Visions. We're going to flash in Spell Queller. We're just going to trade off Lavinia because we do have a Teferi. And we'll have a Spell Queller to block. That's true. We also, yes, do have another Lavinia. Okay, we untap. We draw Serum Visions. Play Ghost Quarter. Play Teferi. Plus Teferi. Pass the turn. Technical issues seem like the biggest hurdle to get into streaming. Oh, totally. Like, I have no doubt that that was one of the biggest reasons I was having, like, a tough... I fixed... Not all of, but I'll say the majority of the problems I was having that were technical. And... my viewership, like, doubled. And it was basically because my audio was terrible. That was, I guess, holding back a bunch of people from watching me. So, you know... Not to mention, like, a lot of the issues, the technical issues you can get while streaming are stuff that's, like, completely, like, super esoteric. Okay, opponent Firecrafts us, takes us to 6. No attacks. We untap. We draw a path. Unsummon Spell Queller. Hey, Knowledge Pool. The formerly bi-weekly, now single-weekly Kano Puntathon where the low-quality trolls hang. Oh, man. Alright, pass the turn. We have Path and Queller. We're just trying to hit another land, and then we have the Hardlock assembled. The good news is Spell Queller could counter Exquisite Firecraft. Buddy Dalton's recommended you? Dalton Brazier? He's a cool dude. Hangs out with me on YouTube. I mean, not on the YouTube videos themselves, but comments on like every video. Cool dude, regardless. Untap. We draw Flooded Strand. Perfect. Hardlock assembled. Pick up Teferi. Play Knowledge Pool. And now we can start attacking. We beat Burn. Would have thought this is a bad matchup. I think it is for the most part. I don't think my opponent piloted optimally against us, but at the same time, I think like I don't know. It feels like we have a better matchup than we should. I can say that much at least. Okay, opponent throws a Goblin Guide into the pool. Yeah, I think we had just enough disruption, and our opponent's hand was like just slow enough. Okay, we'll throw Teferi into the pool. Vexing Shusher. Yeah, Vexing Shusher wouldn't do it. Cast Treasure Mage. Oh, awesome! Well, welcome to the Twitch views here. Much appreciated. Plus Teferi. What's the second one for? I don't know what my opponent's second what. Play Spell Queller. Play Teferi. Get Kano back to his jank roots when he's at his best. The drafts are fine, but the janks. That's true. Christophilus, you missed me playing Blue-White Battle of Wits Control. Alright, opponent concedes. Alright. I think I got time for a game or two. I don't want to play the same guy. Not that our opponent was a bad opponent or anything, I just would like to play something other than Burn. Bone Daddy didn't get to see Folio nonsense. You know, Oz, I have ideas for Folio nonsense. And I think the last deck that I put it together was not optimal. It worked, but I don't think it was optimal. I think we can do better. All right. Lavinia, Knowledge Pool. We just need like a Grand Architect. Version 0.1. Fair. No problem, Joest. Glad to have you. Thanks for showing up. And yeah, I'm glad Battle of Wits has been a little overdue. It was been neglected. So, thanks for pushing me to get back to it. Opponent says wrong deck. And concedes. I don't. I guess they must have queued up with the wrong deck. I'm not. This one's not going to count, obviously, if my opponent's just going to concede match. Yeah, I'll keep this. Opponent mulligans to 6 again. They're going to keep 6 cards. They start with a Leyline of Abundance. Okay. They play a Temple Garden untapped. So this is definitely some kind of like... well, it's a Birds of Paradise ramp deck kind of a thing, but I think this might be the Jeskai Ascendancy combo deck. Alright, we'll start Seachrome Coast, Serum Visions. We draw Maelstrom Wanderer, Ghost Quarter, and Board the Weatherlight can both go to the bottom. Opponent plays a Llanowar Elves. Thought turn 0 wins were reserved for Yu-Gi-Oh! I know, right? Hivestone. Creatures you control are slivers in addition to their other creature types. Excuse you? We draw Lavinia. Play a Plains. I think we're just going to play Ballista on 1 and shoot Llanowar, or shoot birds. Yeah, I'm concerned too. So we shoot the birds to limit our opponent's colored mana production. We're almost certainly playing Teferi and just bouncing like whatever they play. Sylvan Caryatid. Okay, so we'll bounce the Llanowar Elves. We could also bounce the Leyline of Abundance, because it's not like they can replay it. I guess they could if they drew a land, but... Play Flooded Strand. Crack Flooded Strand. We will get an island. Play Teferi. It does find all the combo pieces, yes. Historic permanents are legendary or artifacts, basically. So, considering our combo pieces are legendary creatures or a legendary planeswalker and then an artifact, it's like an impulse for the combo, yes. Or sagas, true. Sagas are considered historic, but we're not playing any. Opponent scoops it up. Alright. We're going to go ahead and queue up again. I can do one more. That one wasn't really a game or a match. It's the same opponent. Theoretically playing a better deck. Because our opponent said wrong deck. I am going to keep this. Opponent mulligans to 6. Mulligans to 5. Yeah, Board the Weatherlight, I think, is a singleton still in the deck. Just because we need slightly better ways to draw some of our combo pieces. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure that there are better cards we could play. So our opponent mulligan to 5. Oh, absolutely. Historic, the mechanic. It's pretty fun. Okay, opponent queued up with Boggles this time. Alright, we untap. We draw Iganjo Castle. So play Glacial Fortress. Play Mausoleum Wanderer. What about the Wish Fairy? Non-creature spells. Get in for 2. A fun of? Yes. Opponent takes 2. Play an island. Favor of the Overbeing. Interesting. Okay. Opponent gets in for 3. No blocks. I think the Wish Fairy would not be good in this deck simply because the Wish is too expensive. Oops, I need to tap for white mana. Play Teferi. Plus Teferi. Pass the turn. We've got some chump blockers now. We do need to find a way to deal with that Boggle. Arcanum Wings. I swear if my opponent aura swaps onto Eldrazi Conscription, I'm gonna be upset. Opponent goes to combat. Attacks Teferi for 3. Okay, we will block. We draw Hollowed Fountain. We're gonna unsummon Arcanum Wings. See if we can draw something useful. Opponent is playing Aura Swap Eldrazi Conscription. We'll play a Hollowed Fountain tapped. Pass the turn. We should have 2 draws to hit. Oh, he says it gets better. Nice. Can't wait. Okay, opponent replays Arcanum Wings. Basically, Aura Swap lets them trade an aura on the battlefield for an aura in their hand. And they have an aura that just turns anything into an Eldrazi. Treasure Mage. Okay. Uptick to Fairy. Play Treasure Mage. I like this guy? Yeah, no kidding, right? We're gonna go get Knowledge Pool. Pass the turn. Oh, Colossification? Oh no. Opponent says GG. So they attack with Trample and Annihilator 2. It depends on what they attack. Okay, they attack to Fairy. We have to sack. So we're gonna sack to Fairy and Treasure Mage. We can get the lockdown, but we can't answer the dude. Yeah. Fair. I was just checking to see if we had something. I'm so used to playing blue-white Battle of Wits control. I was like, maybe I can draw Blessed Alliance. Okay. So we definitely want Force of Negation in this matchup. And we definitely want Spellskite. And probably a Disenchant. Opponent says they're brewing an All Is Dust and a 2-drop red-black Sliver deck. Yep, that's what I'm saying. Um. Okay, so I've got a feeling that paths probably aren't going to do very much. Board the Weatherlight can come out. And we'll cut Judge's Familiar. No, I want the Serum Visions. I'll cut a Spell Queller. Yeah, I told him I've got some pretty jank decks on YouTube if he wants to check it out, but he's gonna have to scroll back because it's mostly limited content right now. All right, Spellskite hopefully should get us there, at least on the play. So if my opponent has, I'm trying to think. If my opponent has some unsummons or pongifies, we might be in trouble. But if they're still on like unilateral casting auras, Spellskite's gonna win. Didn't we have a deck that hardlocked their lands? Um, maybe. I don't know. I've played so many like janky stack style decks. Uh, all right. Play Flooded Strand. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Slippery Boggle. So we fetch for a Hollowed Fountain. We had Karn Lattice at one point. That's the only thing I can think of that would hardlock their lands. I tried to play a deck that played Ward of Bones on turn one and then sacked its only land, so your opponent had to beat you with just one land. It was also very silly. Draw Maelstrom Wanderer. Go ahead and play Spellskate. Pass the turn. Yeah. We'll take favor of the Overbeing. Doesn't do anything, though. We untap, we draw Spellskite number 2, which I guess we can play just to be redundant. Okay, pass the turn. Eventually we should draw some lands so we don't have to keep using our life. Coax from the Blind Eternities. Our opponent is wishing. Gotta love it. Gets Eldrazi Conscription. That was a cool lock until literally everyone played it, and it slotted into every deck as a colorless combo. It was even in Battle of Wits, man. I personally preferred the Patrician Mycosynth Lattice Vandal Blast for the one-sided Obliterate. Cast a Serum Visions. Top and top. Pass the turn. Alright, opponent concedes the game. Hmm. I don't think we need any other adjustments. We'll just run it back. It was actually a good combo and everyone played it. Yeah. I really want Smallpox to be a good deck. Like, just good enough, right? I think with all the cheap planeswalkers, though, Smallpox got way... Well, actually... Oh, no, I remember. Ren and 6 killed it. Ren and 6 made Smallpox not a deck anymore. Snowpox, like, was kind of a thing. It was kind of effective. I just never got the chance to play it because I couldn't afford a playset of Ren and 6. But it was a 4-color Pox deck. If you're not using Karn with Tezzeret, Master of the Bridge, you're doing it wrong. I like the way you think, Christophilus. All right. Yeah, we're gonna mulligan. We're kind of just looking for Spellskite. Every legendary card from Modern Horizons 1 was a mistake. Mulligan. We're gonna go to 4. Alright. We'll keep. Put back 1, 2, 3. I finally restricted Karn in Vintage? Well, I have no idea. Yup. Was Yawgmoth Thrawn Physician a mistake? That was a legendary card that didn't immediately break everything. Play an island, pass the turn. Opponent did not start. Opponent says sorry watching your vids. We draw a Renowned Weaponsmith, play a Plains, play Weaponsmith. Considering it goes infinite with any persist creature, yes. We just got Spell Snared. That's your Paper Pioneer deck? Opponent plays Thassa's Oracle. Nice. They leave a card on top. Okay, we draw Force of Negation. So play Teferi. What about Morphadron, the Boundless, or whatever his name is? Morophon. 7 mana sliver shenanigans. Is that one too powerful? Opponent plays Invisible Stalker. Replays Thassa's Oracle. Alright, alright. Under that criteria, I don't think your take's all that hot. We untap. We draw Grand Architect. Plus Teferi. Play Treasure Mage. We're gonna go get a knowledge pool and play Hallowed Fountain tapped. Hedron alignment? If you had told me to guess a single card in all of Magic the Gathering I thought my opponent was going to play, I would not have guessed Hedron alignment until the Heat Death of the Universe. Like, wow. Arcanum Wings. I am going to counter that. Well, opponent doesn't have anything in hand. I think I still counter that. I like this guy, he'll fit right in here. Yeah, no, I really think he will. He says he's watching my videos. But it gets in for one at Teferi. Sure, Teferi down to 1. We draw an island, tick up Teferi, and we are a land away from victory. Pass the turn. Okay, opponent draws a card. They activate Hedron alignment to scry. They put a card on the bottom. They scry again. Card would be much better if it was Surveil 1 instead of scry. Absolutely. I think they made Hedron alignment a little too hard to win with. Like, it's close, but it's just on the cusp of like too hard. Even by like my standards, I think. Alright, plus Teferi. Play Lavinia. Pass the turn. Should have forced the alignment, help a memer out. Curious Obsession. Alright, Teferi's going down. And then we're in a race. Alright, we untap. Draw Grand Architect. And that should do it. Play Grand Architect. Opponent could have a counterspell. They already spell snared us once. Give mana. Give mana. Play Knowledge Pool. Only thing is I'm not playing around a Rune Snag, so... Really hope my opponent doesn't have a Ceremonious Rejection. My opponent could have literally anything. Props to him, though. In a race where we get 6 cards to play and they don't get any. Fair. Alright, Knowledge Pool online. Pass the turn. Actually, we attack. We absolutely attack here. Opponent is playing Rune Snag. I was like, I guess I'm not playing around a Rune Snag, and my opponent is actually playing Rune Snag. Oh man. Could play it in an Esper Control self-mill shell with Kaya to exile it from your graveyard. Oh, for Hedron alignment? Yeah, the problem is you have to have all 4 of them. And if 2 of them get exiled, you lose. Because you have to have 1 in your hand, 1 on the battlefield, 1 in your graveyard, and 1 in exile to win. Not only that, Kano, but we have to kill him with high damage because he can still win with Hedron alignment. He doesn't have a Hedron alignment in exile. But if he casts one, yes, one will go to exile. Good thing he doesn't have any way to get it into the grave. My opponent has an invisible stalker with a curious obsession. He could actually draw up to 7 and discard it. So if he... My opponent could actually beat us with Hedron alignment. It is possible, unless we aggro them out fast enough. Um... A Shark Typhoon could still get through? That's true. That is true. Shark Typhoon could do it. Opponent says GG, and GG opponent. That guy was really cool. Dark Sora, if you're watching whatever video this ends up in, know that you're an awesome brewer, because we need more people like you brewing jank decks in the modern format. Alright. Well, I hope everybody enjoyed this stream. I know I did. Bone Daddy, thank you again so much. I'm going to have to do so much content with the new cards. I'm super stoked to be playing with Brazen Borrowers and Teferis now. I'm looking forward to it. So Christophilus, thanks for joining. Great Bone Daddy, Oz, Joe West, Six Sigma. Oh my gosh, who else was here? Basic Land Shark. Raylan. Sorry, I'm running through the list here. And everybody else I did not explicitly mention. You're all wonderful human beings. Thank you so much for showing up. I had a great time, and I hope you did too. Some of this content will be making it over to the YouTube channel, so if you've watched this long and you haven't yet, please follow me on Twitch here. It would mean the world to me if you did. And consider following me on YouTube if you use YouTube, because we do a lot of jank and limited content, and it usually ends up there. I've been focusing more on the YouTube side of things because I don't have as much time to stream right now. We just keep streaming on Wednesdays, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. You're all wonderful human beings, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!